All right, YouTube. So I'm gonna do a red dot comparison with the Trijicon RMR and Delta Point. So here we go. They're both unloaded. This is the FN 509. I call this my Uzi. So, and this is just a Glock 19X with the RMR. All right. So, not gonna lie, I'm a big Trijicon fan. I own about 3 or 4 red dots by them. Good, great customer service. A story about the customer service is I had to get somebody to get my screw out my RMR. Okay. They tore my RMR up. Sent it in for warranty through Trijicon. I didn't lie about it. They called me and said they're not going to repair it because evident it wasn't from typical stuff. I explained everything and talked to them. They ended up giving me a replacement. I paid like $250. I mean, I was happy about it because, you know, I didn't have to buy a new one, and I knew it wasn't their fault why that thing got tore up. So, big ups to Trijicon. So, pros and cons. Which one do I like better? So let's talk about the pros and cons of the RMR. So RMR pros. To me, it looks better. I don't know. That tint, it looks great. These buttons on sides, you got the ones with the automatic adjustment. They don't have them, but either one, it's just the shape of little bunny ears kind of thing. It just makes it look kind of good, which is supposed to help if you drop it to, you know, the glass not to be shattered. The adjustments are really good. Of course, that's a pro. And another pro is how low it sits compared to the base of it, how low it sits compared to the Delta Point Pro. So the Delta Point Pro sits higher. Okay. Why is that a pro? Of course, you know, looks, but also finding co-witness sites for it is going to be much more easier since the base is lower. Now, cons. You got to take this. You got to take, when the battery dies or you want to change the battery, you have to take it off. And that's where I ran across the problem with my staccato, taking it off, because we Loctite this thing. I Loctite it, and my Allen key broke inside of the screw, and it was almost impossible to get out because it broke flush into it. And usually you could drill in and drill it out, but since the Allen key broke flush in there and it was like jammed in there, so if you go to change your RMR, don't use the cheap Allen keys that come with it. Find some maybe stainless steel ones or whatever like that. So if you're trying to break loose on that Loctite, you're not gonna break your tool up in there. Or don't use Loctite. Either way, be careful about that. That was an expensive fix for me. I spent over $200 to get it out, and they broke my RMR. Con, battery life is really good. Now, the thing is, one of the cons now comparing it to the Delta Point Pro is you don't realize when you use this. I'm so used to it. My EDC is a Trijicon, but you don't see it as a con until you get to a bigger window. But the window's not that big. I practice with it. I'm pretty good at site acquisition really quickly. But when you get to the Delta Point Pro, your sight acquisition is really much more better. But overall, great sight. Um, it's recommended by almost everybody. Got a Delta Point Pro. Now this is where I know I'm pointing the guns at me. Like I said, they're unloaded, but the screen is bigger. You won't really notice how much bigger it is until you put your eyes on it. It's almost like when you get a new cell phone, just something to like, we did it a quarter-inch bigger, but when you hold your phone, it's like, seems that little dimensions, it makes it much more bigger. This, boy, when you first put your eyes in it, it's, I don't know, it's night and day. It's almost like a 47-inch TV to a 55-inch TV when you're looking through both of these. I could get sight acquisition way more better. The glass is freaking clear. Now the Trijicon is clear, but it's that tint, is what, I don't know if Trijicon didn't tint it, would it be clearer? Probably the case. With this, not, it's tinted, but not as much. Like with Trijicon, you can see that bluish tint everywhere from the front and back when you're looking through it. Pro, your battery compartment, it's great. One, I looked at a lot of reviews. One thing they don't really, a lot of them don't mention is, all right, when you pop it, you hit this knob right here and pull it back, and when you pop this top up, the battery is on a magnet, so you don't have to sit there fumbling and dropping this around. That is some great thinking by Leupold. Now your actual brightness judgment is going to be right here. You have to hold it. Compared to the Trijicon, you got your plus and minus on the sides. Do I see that as a con? To me, no. Before you leave your house and you're carrying, you should adjust your sights. If you have a light on your gun, it should be pretty bright, because if you flip on your light, you want to be able to see your dot, which a brighter setting is going to should cover about everything. I've seen people on YouTube want to have the RMRs, like when I walk in this building, I click it this way, and when it's this light, I can't, my brain don't function to how many times I click through the day to keep track of that shit. Good on you guys. You guys are super guys, and they never was in the military. I don't know. I'm in that keep it simple, stupid time of age, so I don't know. But it is a pro and con, but like I said, you should check it out before you go. Now, the mountain, one thing with this 509, I know it's not a gun comparison. They come with plates and everything, which the plates suck because it's all plastic. But with this gun and with the sight, you don't need plates. And their screws are self-sealing, and it says do not add the Loctite. So if you have to take it off, that's one thing that I love with how the FM did it. I'm gonna have to do another review on the FN. Now with the base being higher, it's gonna be harder to find your sights that will co-witness. This FN, they are co-witness, barely, but they are. Now with this glass being so big compared to the RMR, I find that I don't need my sights that much. With red dots, sometimes, y'all line up my sights and there's my dot. Do that with my RMR, boom, go line up my sights, my dot's there. With the Delta Point, with the screen being bigger, I don't even need to worry about my sights. So I think if you buy a gun, if they're not co-witnessed, you're not going to have a big deal with finding a dot. Now, you're always going to want to have a co-witnessed site just in case the dot don't work, but I'm just throwing that out there. You do have a little gap. It's going to be hard to see, but between here and here, when you look through it, you will see that daylight going through there. I'm pretty sure this is just a protective sleeve to help shock if you drop it. So it's not going to be whole impact on the actual border of the glass. So if you drop it, this part will have spot to bend down without contacting this to help rate the glass. So I'm pretty sure both, as far as drop rating, it's going to be great without your glass breaking. But at Leupold, I'm pretty sure that's a great warranty too. So if it broke, I'm pretty sure they'll cover you. Now, which one do I like best? It's hard. I love Trijicon RMR, but this sight dot is this glass with how big this is, because I like the looks. When I did not want to buy this compared to the Trijicon RMR. So what happened was I went to my local gun dealer, which is not this, and I want to get the sight for this, and they had some hollow songs on sale. They were supposed to be like 3 something, and they hit me up the email. I'm subscribed to the email. They had some hollow songs for like, that was $340 down to like $160 something. At one point it was $130 something. And so I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and get that for this, because how I got it set up, of course I'm not EDCing it. I'm not really trying to put expensive optic on it. So I went there, they didn't have none, of course. I could have got it. I probably would have had to order it through the Palmetto State Armory is my local gun dealer, and I have Shipper Tactical. So I got 2 local gun dealers, and so they had this as a display model, and that was the last one on this color, and they knocked off like over $100. So I was like, fuck it, ring it up. So glad I got it after I mounted this. Great optic. You will not go wrong with anyone you pick. Like I said, I would have probably never gotten this because it just looks, I think the RMR looks so much better because it's like how tall and this big this glass is, it kind of makes it look dumb on your gun. But when you actually hold it in your hand and have it on your gun, you're like, it's really not that bad. Some things just look better in person. So after owning it, it's really not that bad. Actually, I love it. I love it. So who's the winner? Hard choice. If the RMR had a better battery system, which cost me a lot of money, like I said, with the Loctite, like I said, I had to get it off my gun, then I had to buy a new RMR just because of what happened. Hands down, I would probably be like, that's probably better. Another thing is, I don't own NVGs, but if you got NVGs, RMR is going to want to be better. When I looked at other reviewers like Rantham and stuff like that, the dot's not as washed. It's not washed out like this. So if you got NVGs, you would definitely want to have the RMR. There's probably this got auto wake, so, and this one stays on. So auto wake is great. I had one on a Sig Romeo on a P229. Any movement is on. So if you got it in your holster, you're moving, walking, it's going to be on. If you had a safe holster inside your bed or whatever, as soon as you grab it, you're not going to outspeed it turning on. So the auto wake feature is good. I tested it on, like I said, more than one models of red dots. real good. Helps save battery life. Battery life will be better on this one, but it's so easy to change the batteries on this. Who cares? Also, if you're gonna do dot adjustments, the delta point is a little bit better. It's hard for me to explain when you do want to click it and stuff to do your adjustments. The delta point's a little bit better than Armor. Like I said, I love Armor. These two are not my only Armors, so it's kind of hurts my feelings talking about giving so much praise to this delta point. But praise is given on my channel when praise needs to be given. Like I said, it looks, like I said, in person, like when I'm looking at it on the screen, I see myself right now talking to you guys. It looks kind of big, but when I put my eyes on it, I'm like, damn, it's not that bad. It looks pretty good. So it's kind of like a Glock. When I first got my Glock, it was probably in the late 90s. It's like, it's ugly. Then when I actually owned it, like, ooh, this is a pretty gun. So it's kind of like that with that. I don't know how I'm trying to just give explanation that you guys could understand it. So picking up one or another, you're not going to go wrong at all. It's hard for me to, I wouldn't mind putting this on the EDC. No, the only bad thing is if I get an EDC, I gotta get it like, you can't just have that. That's the bad thing about optics, is if your gun is X and you have this optic on it, if you wanted to change the optic, you probably can't unless you had a plate system for it. If you had a designated cutout, you know, it might be screwed. But I wouldn't mind putting this as a EDC because it is super fast acquisition. This is a 2 point, I don't know if it's 2.5, 2.75, I don't know the dot demo on this. This will be 3 1/4. I can't tell the difference in the dot size. So it's not the dot size that makes it, with this make the target acquisition quicker. It's like the field of vision is crazy, you know, it's like really nuts. Like I said, this is great. Trijicon is always going to be in my heart, but that DPP is it's a major contender. So sorry I can't give you better, like, who's the winner. Honestly, it's a Delta Point Pro is the winner. This is great. I'm gonna use it. It's gonna be my, like I said, it's gonna be on my ADC. But I just have to say, this Delta Point Pro. See, then me saying that, I want to say the Trijicon's the winner too. It's hard. It's hard. Usually I could just tell you guys straight, bluntly, because there's pros and cons on both of them that I like on both. So, like I said, whatever you want to choose, and everybody's taste is different. So, somebody might like the Delta Point Pro look over the Trijicon. I like the Trijicon look over that. But functionality, they're both great. But like I said, the battery change is a big deal because I had to cost a lot of money changing that thing out. And like I said, don't use those cheap Allen tools that come with it. Get a good Allen key. Don't make that expensive fuck up. But thanks for tuning in. Until next time.